Hi, welcome to Conversations with Carissa. I want to apologize first before I get into this video. I know I have not been posting for a while, and the reason why is because I just been so busy. I built up a lot of content, but just haven't had a chance to do my editing or what have you. And so I'm coming to you today to share with you this garden that I've been trying to grow for the past I want to say year or so. I started last year um, and just kind of wasn't quite successful, but I have gotten to the point now that I've gotten the hang of it. I'm ready to share this with you guys. So I'm going to take you on a tour of the garden, and it's a raised garden. I'm doing my garden in pots instead of putting it in ground. And I am just enjoying this so much. And so I hope you guys are going to get some ideas and probably start planting your garden as well. So, but I wanted to share with you and kind of do my little apologies and get it up front because you're going to start seeing some videos that are pretty old, um, but not too old. I want to say within the past 6 months or so, but I wanted to share that with you as well. So you'll be getting some more videos from me pretty soon. Soon as I release this, I'm going to try to pump them out as quickly as possible so that I can get caught up. Okay, so before I get into the garden, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. All right, y'all. Okay, so here we have um, romaine lettuce. I've actually harvested this already twice. And so we'll see how much I can get out of this before I cut it completely down. And here is some more lettuce. This is a crunch lettuce. This lettuce here it had actually roots to it already. You can buy them in the store. And I had already eaten off it, and I just kind of planted the roots, planted it back into the soil to try to regrow it, and it's been doing pretty good. It's been here for at least a good 2 weeks now, so I'm thinking in the next week or so or two I'll be able to harvest this to eat and just kind of let it continue to grow out again. And so these are red bell peppers. I've planted these, Roderick and Asia planted these about a year or so ago, but they've been in the garage. This is the first time that it actually bared fruit or bared vegetables. And it is doing so well, you guys. Right now they are green, but eventually they will turn red. And so they just flourishing out here. We planted so much, like those are the reds that you saw, and then these, nothing is really happening with these. And I think these are the green peppers, but I'm just really surprised that they haven't bared any vegetables on them yet. And so here, these are more bell peppers, but I think these are orange. These are orange bell peppers here, so it is already bearing vegetables on here, but that's just only one that's in this group here. It's only one. And we got more, well, actually, these are jalapeno peppers, and they're coming along pretty good, as you can see. This is my largest one on here. And it took forever for these to even bear any type of vegetables. And again, like we started out last year and we didn't get any vegetables, and so until this year. They all were planted. All of these that you see, the bell peppers and the peppers, were planted by seed. They started out as seeds. Now, I don't know if you can see this, But that little bit right there, that is a jalapeno pepper here. Now, I took this and planted, wasn't by a seed, but it was like a bulb that was coming up from a jalapeno pepper that I cut into. And so I planted it just to see if it was going to root, and it is, you guys. So I'm happy about that. Okay, so this is a potato, and I'm quite sure you all have experienced this where you had a potato and you just didn't do anything with it and it started sprouting leaves or what have you. And so when it started sprouting the leaves from the potato itself, I just decided to go ahead and plant them because you can regrow them from the baked potato, from the white potato rather. And this is another one, but this one is, now I'm kind of getting it mixed up, from a yam. This is from a yam. One is from a white potato and this is from a yam. And so I just kind of pluck the growth from the potato and just planted them. Now also, and I'll show you that in a few minutes, but I've also planted the whole potato, and it works that way as well. Here is my basil. I am going to harvest this probably today because I want to make pesto sauce. So this is my basil. Here's another bell pepper, and it's yellow. It hasn't sprouted or anything. It doesn't look like it's going to produce any vegetables right now. So I don't know what is it that I'm doing wrong, but maybe it's just its season. It's just not ready to sprout right now. And then again, we got a lot of time this year. And so this is getting into the plants that I bought. Now, I bought this basil from Lowe's as a plant. I also bought this cucumber plant as well, but it was much smaller. But this cucumber plant is just growing like weed, you guys. It's just surprising me how fast it is growing. So I'm not sure when I will be able to see vegetables from this plant, but hopefully soon. This is my rosemary. The rosemary smells so good. I love rosemary. I cook with a lot with rosemary. And so here is another romaine lettuce that I am growing from lettuce that I just bought out of the grocery store. So I just took the stump and just replanted it, and it's just growing. So basically, you can replant, I can't say all food or all vegetables or what have you, but I can say that, and this was out of experiment, then realized that it would just grow. It had no issues at all. One, I did an experiment to try to kind of root it. I did it that way, and then I also just didn't let it root and just stuck it in the plant, and it's just growing in the soil, and it's just growing. Okay, so here, you guys. Now, tell you a little small story about this because I don't want this video to be too long. We have squirrels that likes to dig and plant and prepare for the next season or what have you. So I have had this issue in the front. I have two planters in the front, and I have issues with squirrels just digging in and just planting in those two pots. And so when I got ready to switch out earlier this year, the flowers that's there, I noticed when I was digging into the soil, I ended up pulling up a pecan. And so the pecan has sprouted, and it just developed into a little tree. So didn't realize that you could use, like, and I'll just use for an example, the pecan will actually start growing into basically a tree eventually. And so this is what's happening. It is literally growing, you guys, and I'm excited about that. Here we have blueberries. These are my blueberries. I've got to repot these. Here, I'm going to put them in this little container here. So I've got to get these prepared or what have you. And then over here, as I mentioned to you before, that I planted the potatoes. As you can see right here, there's that potato right there. So I planted the potato and just caught myself trying to cover it up, but it is sprouting. All of this, these in this pot here, this is coming out along with those smaller pots. They're gonna come out and I'm gonna put them in at least gallon pots and replant the potatoes or what have you. And I probably will not be able to harvest them until later on this year, but you know, it's not a big deal. I'm just excited to see what happens. And so here is a watermelon plant. And Mr. James, this is him. This is him buying water, just too much for me, but we're just going to see how this is going to work. We'll see how well it's going to grow. I will eventually take this out of this pot and put it in a much larger pot and see what happens. Don't know whether we're going to get any type of fruit this year from this, but you know, we'll see. Okay, and so here we have a lemon plant. Now a lemon tree rather. I don't want you to get this confused with the lemon tree that, you know, from the video from I think it was last year. And I'll probably post that video up. It was an interview with Jesse Apollo, and I'm going to post that video here. But she came in, I did an interview with her, and she shared with me some tips on gardening and how to garden in small spaces or what have you. And so one of my lemon tree, I just did really bad with it. I mean, it was just on its last leg, but she helped me bring it back to life. And I'll show you the outcome of that tree. So this is the lemon tree that Roderick bought that we're going to plant out in the yard. So he wants to go ahead and plant this. I wanted to keep it in the pot, but he wants to plant it. So we'll see how well it does in ground versus what the other one, how well that is going to work, you know, being in the pot. But we know that in the pot, it works. Okay, over here, this little long leaf branch or what have you. Let me see if I can get a closer look at it. Okay, so this right here is a raspberry tree. And so, I mean, it's just, I've had this for at least 3 weeks now, and this limb right here was half the size. And so I got to hurry up and do something with this. I got it in a smaller pot. It's sitting in a larger, kind of a little larger pot, but I think I'm gonna have to pull it on out. I don't know if Roderick is wanting to go ahead and plant it in ground, or if we'll just go ahead and keep it in the, just put it in a much larger pot. And so I could come and walk over here and show you some things. Here is my lavender plant. It's growing. It's doing this thing, you guys, and it smells so good. And of course, the citronella. And they say the citronella plants are not, they don't do a good job, do what it's supposed to do in terms of keeping the mosquitoes away. And so I think this is it for this little section here. And I'm going to share with you this lemon tree that I've had at least 3 years now. And so it is coming along. Now I had it in the garage earlier this year or throughout the winter, the fall or what have you. And it just didn't get a lot of sunlight, and it was looking crazy, but not as crazy as it was before. And so it's coming back now that it's outside. It's coming back, and now it has sprouted some blooms on it, and this is the first time in 3 years that it has ever done anything like this. And so I took it out. It was in a smaller pot, and so I just kind of replanted it in a little larger pot. So let's see what happens. I'm not going to say that I'll get anything this year, but you know, if I don't, fine. If I do, ooh, great, grand. But just wanted to kind of share with you. I didn't want to have a long video, but I wanted to share with you all that I am doing as far as this gardening is concerned. And this is a part of health and wellness. And so just trying to eat right and just trying to grow my own food. We're just trying to grow our own food, and just take it from there. And so I hope this video was very encouraging to you, and hopefully you can get some ideas from what you've seen. And just share with me if you tried to, plant your own garden in small spaces, and just share with me your outcome. And so I'm going to, as I mentioned to you before, I am going to start dropping some more videos, and some of it may look kind of old because it was. I just hadn't had a chance to edit them or what have you, because I've been extremely busy, you guys, extremely busy. But I just wanted to come to you and share with you what I've been doing thus far. And so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next video. All right. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. All right, y'all. I am popping back in because I noticed that the lighting from me kind of giving you a tour of the garden was just completely off. And so I really wanted to do another clip with a different camera and show you exactly how the garden is looking. And the leaves are not, I did not overwater, because from that earlier picture looked like I overwatered the plants, and I didn't. So I wanted to come back in and show you how the garden is looking. All right, y'all, enjoy.